Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Friday, March 29th, 2019, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where the moon is in Capricorn. When the moon's in Capricorn, it brings our attention to a lot of times some work that we got to do, some big responsibilities weighing on our shoulders, as well as some big questions about our life and where it is that our life is going. Now what we've got happening very, very early this morning while many of us are sleeping is this moon in Capricorn is actually going to be way back here making a conjunction with Saturn. And what this can bring is a bit of seriousness as we wake up to the day where we're starting to think more seriously about our life, where we're going and how we can get there, or what we need to really adjust or do differently, especially being on a third quarter moon, in order to get to the life that it is that we want. So that's happening there. The next alignment is going to occur a few hours later now, as some of us, depends how early you rise, are getting up and getting going for the day. What is going to happen then is that this moon in Capricorn is then going to make a conjunction to Pluto, running very next to Saturn, very close next to Saturn. And what this can bring, sometimes with Pluto, some very strong, scary, and intense feelings. Maybe we're starting to commit to a direction in our life and readjusting some things from our life from the past in order to support this new direction that we can feel more at peace about. And maybe we're just scared. Is this really going to work? Are these things that I'm adjusting and working out, is it really going to get me the results that I want, or is it not? Or maybe we're just afraid that things are working and now what does that mean? So there could be a lot of feelings that do come up at this time. Sometimes we can start to feel more powerful when the moon conjuncts Pluto instead of fearful. Like we're not only changing things in a positive way, but we're starting to move into this change, transform, and step into it. However, with the moon right after it makes this conjunction with Pluto, making a conjunction with the South Node, still when we're just waking up in the morning, I'm feeling like this may go a little bit more of the fearful direction than the optimistic, powerful one. That's because when the moon conjuncts the South Node, to me it can bring feelings of being held back, of having to deal with old issues, especially on this third quarter moon, of things we're trying to make things work, we're trying to move forward, to feel more comfortable in our life and do more of what was really meaningful to us, but we somehow can't. Or we somehow, with the conjunction to Pluto, have to go back to old things, to work old things out, to do things again. And I think really needing to allow yourself to go back, to change and adjust and rework things that maybe should have been reworked months ago, so that you can start to finally feel better about your life and move into it with more ease or feeling much better, okay? And I think that's what's going on, and that's what we're going to sit with for most of the day. This frustration here, I want my life to go in this direction, but it's not in this direction. Why isn't it in this direction? Well, probably because some old things I should have done weeks ago, I didn't, still need to be tweaked and adjusted, that we're going to have to work out. The next alignment isn't going to occur until dinner time, after dinner time. After dinner time, this moon in Capricorn is then going to make a trine over here to Mars and Taurus, which I really love. So after we have this really frustrating morning, perhaps, about thinking very seriously about our life and why we aren't there and trying to fix things and feeling like we're having to go back to old things in order to move forward, then to me it starts to get nice. The very end of the day, after dinner, as we're going to bed, we start to feel like, okay, I did what needed to be done to change my life for the better so that I can feel more comfortable, and now I'm starting to feel more stable, more secure, more grounded, like I'm making progress or freeing myself up to eventually make progress to do more of the things that I value and that are important to me and that can make me confident. So I like what happens there. That's going to stay with us for a few hours. The next alignment is going to happen around bedtime, after bedtime really. And what's going to occur then is that this moon in Capricorn is then going to move here into Aquarius. And when the moon moves into Aquarius, it then changes our focus. Our focus comes a lot more to the future, thinking about the future, comes a lot more to loosening up, chilling out a little bit, and considering different options and possibilities for our life. And so I feel like what's going to occur is that after we make all these intense changes changes or feelings or readjust some things at the beginning of the day that may have been a little bit stressful. I feel like towards the end of the day, we start to feel more stable, grounded, and we starting to loosen up a little bit to see different possibilities and to get a different perspective and a different view, a bird's eye view on some of the things that we've had done that will be very, very useful for us, okay? And that's the last alignment the moon's gonna make today. So first point, definitely readjust some things that need readjusting, especially if you've been neglecting them, to put your life in the right direction, because that's going to help free you up later on to do other things or more things that you really want and need to do. Now, the second thing I want to talk about here, maybe I'll go to Mars. Number 2, Mars is at the last degree of Taurus. Okay, whenever a planet is at the last degree of the sign, it's a very, very critical degree. It gets super important. Okay, Mars at the 29th degree of Taurus here is saying, how can I bring more stability into my life, bring more security, more confidence? What do I need to restore that to my life? And I think that's what we're trying to figure out before we start doing some crazy things at the new moon in Aries, which is going to happen a week or so from now. Before we start initiating new things that we haven't done before, doing crazy stuff, making life-changing decisions and choices here. How can I make sure that I am all set, that I am where I need to be, that my life is in order, the best that it can be before I start to do these other things? And I think that's what Mars at the 29th degree of Taurus is saying. Get your life in order the best that you can. Stabilize, ground, so that you have a stronger position from which to initiate, talk about, and do things later on, especially when the moon when Mars, moves into Gemini, bringing up a lot of different crazy stuff that we might want to think about and that we might want to do. Focus first so that you can go crazy later on. Now, the third and last thing I want to talk about is going to be right here, still Mercury direct. Again, making a conjunction to Neptune here. I think there is a lot going on that we're overcoming from the past. It might not have been easy the past few weeks. There might have been very confusing about what's going on with your life, what happened in the past, where you need to go in the future. And I think Mercury going direct is helping to give you the clarity, more or less, to start to understand what's going on with your past, what you need to keep from the past, what you need to get rid of from the past, and what you need emotionally in order to feel better so that you can move forward. All right. And I really do think needing to listen to your spirit and your soul and what your spirit and your soul needs so that you can, again, ground yourself. You know, I think a lot of what's going on in the astrology reminds me of, you can't keep plowing new ground if your core basic needs and desires are not taken care of, and if your spiritual and emotional desires are not taken care of. So I see this moment in the astrology as a time that says time to gather fruit, time to go inward, time to get right with yourself, time to overcome the past, so that when other things do come up, or so that when you start to do more of the things that you feel really strongly about and passionate about, you're going to have a much stronger set of reserves and a much better foundation from which to do it in the future. And now is the time to set yourself up the best for success, even if you're not seeing all the fruits of your labor manifest outwardly, doing the things that you really want or feel called to do at this time. All right, so that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.